Well, that was an awesome introduction. It's true. I haven't been to Florida or this ranch previous to last week, so this was my first opportunity to come down. I've been exposed to Randy. He came up to my place, and I watched him do his thing, but I was really excited to come down here to Florida and watch him do his thing. And I probably would call myself an expert observer. I tend to see things and pick up certain things that others might not see. And it's been fun watching this for the past week and a half. And I want to share a visual with you, and then I'm going to tie it into a movie that I like. Has anyone ever seen Apollo 13? Okay, so you're going to see some clips from Apollo 13. And we're going to start. I want to just start with the very first clip. All right.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, now look, all of you are here for some reason, but if you narrow it down, all of you showed up because you have a problem. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, whatever it is that you see out in front of you, if it was that simple, you probably wouldn't be here. Okay, so some of you are here because your arm hurts. Some of you are here because you need a couple more miles per hour. Some of you are here because you don't quite have the command that you want. But nonetheless, you've got a problem. Okay, now, what I always find interesting is how people go about solving that problem. And I think I saw, can you just stand up a second? So yesterday, I was noticing that the Florida ranch uses this idea of relentless pursuit, and I love it. And everyone has different ways of communicating a message of going and getting something. The Florida ranch says relentless pursuit. Just so happened, thank you, that where I come from, we've created a different slogan, what we use, and Cole happens to be wearing it here. Just stand up a second, Cole. So he has a hashtag that we use for the team that I coach, and it's just a catchy little hashtag. And the hashtag is, my handwriting is awful, but hopefully you can read it. It's chop wood, carry water. And really the message is the same. The message is there's something that we want to accomplish and we're not quite there yet. Now, I cannot believe that I'm standing in front of you with an easel here beside me, because I am in no way an artist at all. But what I can do is I think I can communicate a message. So I want to draw a picture that maybe could help you in visualizing what it is that I see. And this is me, my best effort communicating your relentless pursuit and our chop wood, carry water. Same idea, okay? So here's you down there. That's you. That's you. Okay? And up here is your future self. Your future self. That's you, and that's your future self. And you have to improve to get there. Currently, where you are right now is not where you want to be. Yesterday, a slide was presented, and I don't know if you wrote this down. I know many of you have your notebooks. And yesterday, Randy put up, in order to become a better version of you, you have to consider three things. You have to consider the task. Now, I usually say organism, but he put up athlete because that's what we do. We help athletes. So I'm going to write athlete. The task, the athlete, and the environment. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to talk about our hashtag chop wood, carry water. And I want to talk about those three things. Okay? Well, the task, here we are, and that's where we want to go. You are all sitting here because you are not thrilled with the picture that you currently are. I'm assuming that's true. If it weren't true, I'm not sure why you'd be here. Your parents have spent a considerable amount of money hoping that you can become a better version of yourself. In order for that to happen, we have to consider the task, the organism, and the environment. Daniel Pink is an author, and he wrote a book called Drive. And in that book, he said there are three things that are true for every human being when it comes to what makes them move. What motivates them? What drives them? Hence the name of the book, Drive. And he said 3 things, okay? If you're a note taker, these would be things to write down. The first one is mastery. He said, creating something masterful should be something that motivates you. All of you should be wanting to create masterpieces in your life. You're all pitchers, so I presume that you all want to become a masterful pitcher. That was his first thing that says should drive you throughout your lifetime. You want to be masterful at something. The second thing is purpose. You want to have a purpose for moving. I know you can't read it. I'll doctor it up later so we can see it clear. You want to strive for mastery. You want to know why you're doing something. You want to have this deep-seated belief as to why you're moving in a direction, purpose. And the last one is autonomy. Now, autonomy just means your own free will. You're doing it because you want to do it, not because your teacher asked you to do it, not because mom and dad want you to do it, not because your best friend wants you to do it. Daniel Pink suggests that those 3 things are the 3 primary things that move all people forward. Mastery, purpose, and autonomy. Well, so I read that and I said to myself, all right, well, if that's true for everyone, why do people get derailed? Like, what is it out there that prevents people from achieving? What prevents people from becoming the best version of yourself? I believe there are 3 things that block progress. I think, and this is how I demonstrate this. The first blockage is something that gets disguised as mastery, and it's called achievement. Achievement, all right? In that book that I wrote that Randy referred to, I call it the achievement trap. Whenever you accomplish something and someone cheers for you, whether it be a state championship, whether it be a college scholarship, whether it be a top 10 ranking by perfect game, anything that you swallow whole eventually becomes poison and prevents you from reaching your goal, okay? Achievement blocks mastery. I call it the achievement trap. You have to be very, very careful of all the things that you swallow and believe in. One of the hashtags I use is beware the applause. Beware the applause. I got to be honest with you, as a former athlete myself, anytime someone booed me, doubted me, questioned me, I was motivated to prove them wrong. Never was a problem for me. Where I always ran into the risk was when someone said, Wags, you're great. You're great. Whenever you win something, I was like, yes, I am good. You got to be careful, all right? Achievement disguises itself as mastery. Purpose, I think, one of the things that blocks us from becoming our best version of ourselves is passion. I think passion blocks this flow. Passion is so exciting in the present, but the minute the passion is gone, despair is right around the corner. Purpose plays the long game. Purpose says, you know what? I'm willing to ride the roller coaster. I know there's ups and I know there's downs, and I'm gonna fight my way through it all. Passion thrives on those high moments. Passion needs wins. Purpose knows that the goal isn't about winning, it's just about succeeding. Right? So there's a difference. So I think achievement masquerades as mastery. I think passion masquerades as purpose. And this last one, I'm not even going to say the word, because the word doesn't matter. But autonomy means you need to know why you're here. Every day you show up, you get to sit down and you get an opportunity to improve. And you need to be convinced as to why you're here. Not because mom walked up and said, hey, you need 4 miles an hour to get that college scholarship. Not because your coach says, hey, you, in order to get playing time, you need to be able to do this. Like that might be motivating for a week or a month, but eventually it'll fall apart. You need to know why you're here. So Daniel Pink says mastery, purpose, and autonomy are the 3 primary motivators. As long as you have them and know what yours are, you'll keep striving to be the best version of yourself. Achievement, passion, and doing things for other people tend to block our progress. Okay? So With respect to chop wood, carry water, those three things help define the task. Right? You are here because you want to become a better version of yourself. You have to improve. You do have to get better. All right? In order to do that, we need to recognize the task at hand. Some of you, your task is I got to throw harder. Some of you, your task is I got to get healthy. And some of your task is I got to command. And some of it might be all the above. Okay? Now, the next thing that's true about chop wood, carry water, or relentless pursuit is in this whole thing, we have to consider you, the person sitting here, the person that's performing the task. Okay? And this is what I believe is true. I believe that all of us have things that we believe, and I break them down into three ways. The first thing is a value system. And if you're taking notes, I suppose this would be worth writing down. That value system that each of you showed up with are the things that you believe that are untouchable. I don't care if you believe Randy and his staff with all your heart and conviction. That value system has to be in a lock and a vault, and it can't be touched. And truthfully, as the athlete, as I was thinking about this, the only value that I think that is probably untouchable is the fact that you are all a pitcher. You have to believe deep down that you are all a pitcher at heart, assuming you're all pitchers. Right? If someone were to challenge you on that, that is something that you would never concede at any time. You are a pitcher. That is a value. Can't be touched by anyone. The next set is your beliefs. Now, each of you should have a belief system that you hold dear, but you have to be willing to change. If all of you had a belief system and none of you were willing to change, none of us could make any progress. Your belief systems are something that you need evidence to change. I hope you show up and I hope you don't just do everything that they suggest. I hope you question it in your mind. Why am I doing this? What value does this have? It's why he pulls you in there and shows you all that stuff before he brings you out here. He needs to convince you that it's something you should try. It's exactly how it has to happen. He needs to tell you, this is what you need to do to get better. And he needs to provide convincing argument so you can change your belief system. The last thing is your opinions. These things are fleeting. These things are just these superficial thoughts that I haven't thought about it much, but this is what I think is true. Those things just come and go with the wind. What I've come to believe is there are a lot of people that think everything you hold dear is a value. Those people are really, really stubborn and hard to change. Those people can't grow. Many people think everything they have is an opinion, and those people change their opinions with the wind. Whatever someone suggests, I'll do and I'll follow. Neither are healthy. You need a belief system. You need to understand how you operate. You have deep-seated values. You have beliefs that you're willing to consider someone else's thoughts. And then you have opinions that will change with the wind. That's the athlete, right? If you don't know what it is you believe and why you believe it, you need to spend some time alone and you need to figure out what it is you're willing to consider, what it is you want to change, and what it is you're never willing to change. The last thing, which I'm so impressed with, and this is really what I want to make sure you guys understand, the environment. You guys show up every day in as far as I can tell, I've been here 5 days, one of the greatest training environments I've ever seen. So the way I see it, there are 3 environments that you can train in. And I'm going to just do it on this just so hopefully we can see it. The first environment is what I call just a safe environment. That's you and you alone. Think about the safest environment you could be in. It's just you sitting in your house, you sitting on a field, you in a cage. There's no judgment. It's just you. The most threatening environment, that says threatening. The most threatening environment is when you have 1,000 eyes on you. For an athlete, the most threatening environment is competition. You guys are going to leave here and you're going to go out and you're going to be judged by your coach. You're going to be judged by your assistant coach. You're going to have to play other teams that are scholarships available. Only one team gets to win a championship. It's threatening out there, right? These people don't grow because they're challenged. They're not challenged enough. These people don't grow because they're challenged too much. The environment you guys put yourself in for this week, for these next 2 weeks, for the next 3-4 weeks, is the perfect environment to grow. The perfect environment to grow is a combination of both. It is safe, but it is not threatening. I should say it is safe, but it is threatening enough. It is threatening enough. I'll say it that way. It is safe, but it is threatening enough. Why is it safe? I walk around here and I watch you guys ask questions. You help each other. The fact that you do a velocity program and you support each other, you get 100 eyes on one guy and you encourage him. You have an instructor that walks around and gets to know each of you by name. And yet you know, all of you know, I think, that you're not good enough yet. You are not good enough. You have an instructor that recruits a whole bunch of people to challenge you, to say you're not good enough for tomorrow, but you're great right now. Like, that is a perfect environment to train under. The last clip you're going to see is you're going to see a guy. When I watched the movie, I was always captivated by the astronauts. I was like, man, what a story. The more I watched the movie, I was like, the whole reason this thing works is because the guy down below at Houston, I don't know, the command center, his name was Gene Kranz. And before I'm done, I want to read you what they call the Krantz dictum. Okay, so he's got this thing out here. In 1970, he lost some astronauts in space. Payne's the greatest teacher. This guy learned that it was never ever going to happen again while he was in the command center. And as far as I can tell, you've got a guy here that is committed to making all of you better because he's experienced enough pain that he doesn't ever want it to happen again. And because of that, he's surrounded himself with people willing to fight that same cause with him, and you guys just happen to be the beneficiary of that. All right? So you all have a problem. You're Tom Hanks, the astronaut in space. The guy down at Command Center, that's Randy. Now you're going to see a clip, and you're going to see him communicate a message. Go ahead.
Gene, you have a situation brewing with the carbon dioxide.
Yeah, CO2 filter problem in the line.
5 filters on the line.
We commit for 2 guys for a day and a half. So I told the doctor, they're already up to 8 on the gauges. Anything over 15, and you get impaired judgment, blackouts, the beginnings of brain asphyxia.
What about the scrubbers on the command module?
They take square cartridges.
The ones on the limb are round.
Tell me this isn't a government operation.
It just isn't a contingency we remotely looked at.
Those CO2 levels are going to be getting toxic.
Well, I suggest you gentlemen invent a way to put a square peg in a round hole. Rapidly.
Okay, people, listen up. People upstairs handed us this one, and we gotta come through. We gotta find a way to make this fit into the hole for this, using nothing but that. Let's get it organized.
So I'm almost done. I only need like 3 more minutes of your time. In that book, the last book I wrote, one of my favorite chapters was called The Courage of Competence. Guys, I think people talk about you got to have confidence to play this game well. I dismiss confidence. Confidence to me is common. A lot of people have confidence. Look, when you get in the batter's box, yeah, you want to believe in yourself. When you get on the mound, yeah, you want to believe in yourself. But I believe true confidence stems from having a deep-seated competence about what you've done up to that point. Okay? Confident people have all the right answers. Competent people ask the right questions. You guys have a competent leader that's constantly asking the right questions. Yesterday I sat over there and I watched you guys. I was like, I see a guy with an eye patch on trying to throw balls. What conventional thinking would say, you know what, we're gonna put a patch over your eye to help you improve? You guys are jumping off boxes to throw, right? You've got yellow balls in your arms trying to create disconnection problems. You have a guy that is extremely competent. Why? Because he's asking the right questions. And he's allowing you a safe environment to do it in, but it's challenging enough that you know you have to get better. And then he recruits the right guys to help implement the plan. Just as you go through your travels, try to recognize the difference between confident people and competent people. Competent people doubt themselves. They doubt themselves that they're doing enough. And in fact, they probably are never doing enough to satisfy them. Confident people think, yeah, I'm doing a good job. Here's Gene Kranz's dictum, okay? And again, I'm soon done. This is what he put down. I'm not going to read you all. I'm just going to read the end here. From this day forward, flight control will be known by two words, tough and competent. Tough means we are forever accountable for what we do or what we fail to do. We will never again compromise our responsibilities. Every time we walk into mission control, we will know what we stand for. Competent means we will never take anything for granted. We will never be found short in our knowledge and in our skills. Mission control will be perfect. When you leave this meeting today, you will go to your office, and the first thing you will do there is to write tough and competent on your blackboards. It will never be erased. Each day when you enter the room, these words will remind you of the price paid by Grissom, White, and Chaffee. Those are the three astronauts that he lost. These words are the price of admission to the ranks of mission control. Why did I want to share this with you? Because I think it's a dangerous world out there. I think for your time here at the ranch, it's safe, but it's challenging, and you're going to get better. There's no doubt in my mind you're going to get better. Like I do think I'm an expert observer. You're going to get better. You have an incredible environment. You're here. But this is lurking. Each of you will not be judged on how much improvement you made at the ranch. Each of you eventually will be judged by a coach that writes the lineup, by a college coach that writes the lineup, by someone, by your opponents, by the competition. In order to be competent in that threatening environment, you have to be willing to grow in this safe but threatening enough environment. Okay, so don't let this opportunity go. There are very, very few people that get to show up and have this opportunity. And I know I live, 1,000 miles north, but I show up here and it's pretty impressive what you guys do every day. So don't take it for granted. Challenge yourself and just be aware of all these little obstacles that present themselves. And the reason they're obstacles is they're fulfilling. Like everyone wants to achieve. Everyone wants to be passionate. And everyone likes to please mom and dad. But those are imposters. You got to really know what's at play, okay? So I'm around. I don't know. Like I just observe what you do with the pitching piece, but like I find myself over there in the cage. But fire away, ask questions. That's what we call chop wood, carry water. That's what you guys call relentless pursuit. Okay.
Well done.
Yeah. Yeah.